Hey, beautiful ones. Fran here, back with a little chat. I want to just chat with you guys for a minute. First of all, of course, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed, make sure that you do. There's a lot of good stuff going on around here. So I want to talk to you guys today about being the exception to the rule, being the exception to the rule, breaking the generational patterns in your life. And this came up because recently I was talking to one of my team members, right? And she sent me a screenshot. And the screenshot had me on this very, very well-known person's playlist, right? And it was her YouTube playlist. And she said, that I was one of the people that she listens to every single day. And this person is very, very well known in her field. And she's the money queen and she does a lot of amazing things in this world, right? And I thought about the fact that I was on that playlist, right? So if you look at the dynamics of what man would say that Fran should be doing, right? Fran has degrees, so Fran should be working in corporate, and Fran should be raising her kids and married and just living a life that the generations before her has lived. Like, my mom broke the shell, right? My mom and my grandma kind of broke the shell, but they didn't really get to completely break the shell, right? But they lit the fire. You understand what I'm saying? And if I would have just shrunk who I was, and if I would have just done what the world feels like I should be doing, or what people told me I should be doing, or what they feel that I should be doing, then I wouldn't be doing this, right? But because God put something bigger in my heart, right? God gave me this amazing purpose and this desire to do more, to be bigger, to have more, to live a life as the exception to the rule, right? I had a choice though. I had a choice at that point. I could have continuously moved forward in that purpose, or I could have stayed very comfortably put, right, on my job and doing those things that I watched my mom and my grandma and my cousins and sisters do, right? My family members. I could have stayed there. I could have stayed in a place of where, as a woman, I'm seeing that I should stay. You understand what I'm saying? But God had something different for me. And I stepped into that. There's no way I should have multiple businesses making really, really, really good money. Y'all know I really don't talk about how much money I make because you know what? That's not relevant. What's relevant is that I make enough money to not only live comfortably, but to travel the world, to take care of my children, my staff, to employ other women. I should not be doing that if you look at what the world would have me do, what the world would tell me to do. The world would tell me to take those degrees and go climb that corporate ladder and make somebody else a whole bunch of money and sit down and be quiet. Don't start nothing. Don't raise no ruckus. And don't you go changing people's idea about God and telling people that God will bless their life in humongous ways. Don't you show nobody the truth about God. You just be quiet. The fact that I have watched my life unfold purposely and intentionally, step by step, is truly, I can't even think of another word than amazing to me. Sometimes I have been like, okay, God, so is this really going to happen? And is this really what I'm supposed to be doing, right? Every time I have those moments where I'm not sure I should be living as the exception, God does something that shows me that I should be living as the exception. Your belief in the things that you desire, your belief in what you feel called to do will create the breakthrough in that calling. A lot of times, people think, oh yeah, I have to have 5,000 people in the room. I have to have 100,000 followers. I have to have this, I have to have that. I got to get ready. And it's only 2 people following me and 1 person watching my video. That does not make any difference because you don't know who that 1 person is. So I remember a long time ago, my mother used to tell me, she used to say, you have to keep going and doing what feels right in your heart and in your soul because you don't know who's watching. You never know, because that 1 person could be the very person who could change your life, but it could also be the very person whose life you change. You have to know that no matter what has been done before you and what somebody is doing, even in the same lane you're doing it in, that really just does not matter. What matters is that you are doing what feels good in your heart and your soul, and you are allowing yourself to be purpose-driven. You have to be driven by your purpose and what you feel in your heart. Nothing else matters. It does not matter to me if 10 people watch this video or 10,000 or 100,000. Of course, it's nice to have people who love what you do, right? Whenever I get an email or a letter about how someone has applied something that I've taught or how what I've taught has changed their life, it makes a difference to me. But I'm not going to stop doing what I've been called to do because I don't have 1 million people following me. That's not the point of doing it. The point of you doing what you're called to do and living as the exception is to get the message across to those people who need you, those people who are seeking that information. We're not going to be for everybody, right? But I will tell you something. Every single person can live as the exception to the rule. Stop playing small. Stop playing yourself. Stop allowing what's going on around you to dictate what's going on inside of you. Because that's what's important. And you can tweak that. What's going on outside you in your physical reality right now, or with people outside of you, is not your concern. What's going on inside of you to create the reality you want on the outside is your concern. We get too caught up in what everybody else is doing. And I've done it. I've compared myself to people. I've got online and started scrolling through Instagram, right? And been like, well, why? Well, they're doing the same. Well, why they got that many? How do they do that? And start going down the whole rabbit hole of, well, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe people just don't like me, or what? Just a whole bunch of stinky, negative, nasty thinking, right? And then I have to stop myself and I got to pull it back. I'd be like, wait a minute. God told me to do something. God told me to do something. And I better find myself doing it. And so do you. It doesn't matter if it's this. It doesn't matter. You could be the best web designer. You could be the best builder. You could be the best baker. You could heal people through your baking. You could heal people through your talking, through your touch, through your assisting people to better lives in some way, or doing something to make their lives better. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be a big, humongous stage. And I can tell you that you don't have to have 1 million followers to make a difference. The people who need you will find you. You just have to show up. All right, guys, I just thought I would share that with you. I thought I'd start doing more of my Fran wisdoms, because I sit here in my office sometimes and talking to God and my heavenly staff, and see, I'm going to start crying because this is so, I'm not going to start crying, no. Sit here sometimes and I talk to God, and the information and the messages I get sometimes are so profound, and I just don't want to keep them to myself. So I'm just going to start jumping on and sharing them with y'all. All right. I will talk to you soon. Peace and blessings. Bye for now.